This is Chick Shane Mosley, and you're watching True School Sports.
All right. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I partnered up with the pound for pound kings of boxing apparel, Fighting Mad. They offer unique designs and styles of fighters such as Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Vasily Lomachenko, Muhammad Ali, and many, many more. Fighting Mad is offering 20% off on all sales in July as part of their partnership with your boy BT and True School Sports when you enter the promo code TRUE20-July. So whether you're at the fights, at the gym, or just at the house, chilling, Fighting Mad has you covered with the most stylish designs and ways to rep your favorite fighters when you're out and about. For more info, check the link in the description. Alright, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with Jeff Portiz. How you doing, man?
Alright, man. Ready to weigh in.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Now, you trained Bad Blake Davis. Could you just talk about how you found Blake and what your relationship is with him as his trainer?
Yeah, I was training Dustin Arnold at Sweatbox, and Blake was coming up to me every day, like, yo, man, I want you to work with me, I want you to work with me, I want you to work with me, and he was just a tall, lanky kid, man. I really had no interest in working with him.
Yeah.
But every day he'd just keep bugging me. And one day I told him, I said, look, you can't move your feet. We used to call him the baby giraffe because when he'd walk, he's still saved in my phone as the baby giraffe.
Damn.
So I told him, I said, look, you want me to do something with you, go in there, shadow box for 12 rounds. Don't put on your gloves, don't even put on your boxing shoes, just shadow box for 12 rounds. He got out of the ring and he came up to me, he's like, okay, I did it, now what? I was like, nothing. So he comes back the next day, he's like, all right, so what do? I go, shadow box for 12 rounds again. And he's like, what? And I was just kind of trying to break him. I really was just trying to get him to go away. And I made him do it for like a month straight, just shadow box 12 rounds. And finally after a month, I was like, all right, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll train you, let's go. Because he started to be able to move his feet a little bit. And ever since then, man, he's just, anybody that knows Blake knows he's persistent. So because of his persistence, that's how that all started.
Okay, well, that's a great story. I never heard that story, so it's kind of good to hear, like, his dedication and his, kind of commitment to the sport of boxing.
Yo, when that kid wants something, bro, he will stop at nothing to get it. Literally, like, it doesn't matter what it is. If he decides he wants to build an arc, he'll do whatever it takes, but he'll get the arc built somehow. So, that's one thing. It's annoying. Yeah. But in the same token, it's one of his best qualities. I respect him for it. I even look up to him for it. He really will stop at nothing to get what he wants. That's a good quality he's got.
No, it's a very good quality. To my understanding, I watched one of his interviews and he said that you took him to the ringside national championships and that was like the first big amateur tournament he won. Could you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, so we went to the ringside world championships. I was taking Dustin Arnold, who I've had since the beginning, and I told him, I said, look, you can win this thing. Like, you should go. So he goes. It's a funny story too, right? Because Blake's a brash guy and this and that. We're standing outside the ring and tough dude from Atlanta, scary looking dude comes up to him and is like, I'm gonna knock you out, this and that, we're fighting.
Yeah.
And Blake just kind of looked at him, and then before we get in the ring, I'm looking at Blake, and he's just kind of like, all right, a little bit nervous, goes in there, boom, drops the kid in the first round. And it was a wrap. He just wiped everybody out that whole tournament, and wiping everybody out since. So he first national tournament he went to, he won.
Yeah. And I guess a legend was born, you could say.
It's funny, man. We've had a lot of, he's just a funny kid, and he's got a lot of power. So those two things will equal some funny stories. But yeah, man, he's good. He's a fighter. Yeah. That's what it is. He didn't grow up tough. You know what I mean? He's not from the streets. He's not from the hood. And he changed my mind on fighters because for a long time I thought that if you didn't kind of come up hard, this sport is it's a fucking vacuum, man. It'll suck you up and spit you out. Yeah. And I was like, I thought if you didn't come up hard, you couldn't do this. And that's really, he really emphasized that fighters are born, they're not made. You know what I mean? The kid doesn't need for anything, but he's out here fighting the baddest dudes out there. Been fighting the baddest dudes, so, you know, he's a fighter all the way through.
And that's kind of a special thing, because I remember when I was talking to you, you said that you've been in boxing for how many, like 20-something years?
I'm 31, and I got into boxing when I was 10 years old. And I've been in 21 years straight, no break. Like, I've been in it since, from fighting all the way right through to training. You know, I grew up, I was lucky, I became really good friends with Nate Campbell, who was the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Yeah. And I became good friends with him when I was 12. I was one of the best men at his wedding, so I came up with him through his rise. I was at Buddy's gym, and, you know, I've been around so many world champions since I was a young kid, seen world champions training my whole life, been around, slept in hotel room. I mean, I was playing spades with Arturo Gatti and Charlie Mitchell, and I went to the hospital with Angel Manfredi. Like, when he got cut, been in the gym. I remember Emmanuel Augustus opened up this car door one day, smelled like a ton of weed. Like, you know, I've been around these guys since forever, so I was able to kind of see how world champions acted and trained, and I think it kind of like related into me understanding the game and being able to start training guys when I was young.
How many amateur fights did you have?
Amateur fights that I
did you have any?
Had? It was like 38. You know, I've had a couple books, because back then we didn't have the whole computerized system and stuff. You know, that's something that's kind of new, but it was 30 plus. You know what I mean? I started when I was 10. I had my first fight when I was 11. I fought for a good time down here. Like, I've known Chico since way back.
Since you were a jit, probably.
Yeah, since I was a jit. Then I moved to Tampa, and I fought in Tampa for a while. And, you know, it was around that number.
Yeah, so the boxing runs very deep in your veins.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody that was a part of the amateur scene when I was coming up knows me and remembers me from it. So, you know, and I know all of them. So I've been around for a long time. Amateurs back then didn't get 200 fights like they do now. You know what I mean? Like, now these kids, they've got a tournament every other week. To go to the regionals when I was a kid, you had to win local, you had to win state, then you went to regionals, then you went to nationals. Now it's like, it's all different. You know, you just go straight to the nationals now. You win a couple fights and you're in the national. It wasn't like that back then. So we didn't have 200 fights like they do now. It's good, more experience for them, you know?
Yeah, okay. So one thing I find interesting about Blake and just him as a fighter is, like, he's 2-0, and he's selling like $30,000 worth of tickets. Like, is there sort of like a pressure to keep him on the straight and narrow because he's getting a little bit more attention than guys do locally when they're 2-0, 3-0 at this stage of their career?
You want me to lie? Yeah, man, of course. That's of course, but we've gone through that, you know what I mean? That's something that we went through kind of our last fight, where the hype train got a little bit too much, and, you know, we talked about it, and, you know, still looked great, still went out there and boxed, but, you know, this camp was a lot different. He understands that, hey, man, the hype is good, but this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? And if he keeps winning and keeps looking impressive, which is the important part, that's when the real success starts coming. That's when the real hype starts coming. So, you know, he's a smart kid, man. Like I said, he knows what he wants, and I'm fortunate in that he's one of the fighters that actually does listen to me. You know, it's hard to get guys to listen to me, so he gets it. It was a little difficult, but we're there now.
Yeah.
He likes to train. He trains hard.
I mean, I was there with you that one day when he was training, and I got that sense, like, he enjoys being in the gym.
Yeah, man, he doesn't want to lose, man. This kid doesn't want to lose. You know, he's a fighter. He wants to win. So he does what it takes.
Okay. Any message to the boxing world out there about what you got going on with Blake and just in general?
Sir?
Any message to the boxing world about what you have going on with Blake and just in general?
Keep watching, man. That big white boy's coming. He's got a lot of power, too.
All right, there you go. Jeff Portiz, thank you for talking to True School Sports.
Le mando un saludo a todos los fans, bendiciones, cuídense.